Lives are changed by Jesus.
We follow the living Christ, and our lives are different. Because we know him in all we do, we want to put Jesus at the center and share him with others.
Good morning. My name is Rudy Tank. My wife, Joan, and I have been members of Knox for about 20 years.
My name is Kirk Seitz, and I've been coming to Knox for about 8 years, and my family and I have been members for about 7.
I have been on high school mission trips, served on session, and attended the Great Banquet. All of those impacted my life, my relationship with the youth and adults of Knox, and my relationship with Jesus. But it wasn't until I had our whole congregation praying for me and my family, and we walked back into Knox 2 weeks after my heart attack, greeted and hugged by so many of you, that I truly felt the love of Jesus. I had been in full cardiac arrest. When I was in an induced coma, my family was advised not to expect the Rudy they had known if and when I regained consciousness. My life was changed forever by each and every one of you showing me the love of Christ.
My life was changed by Jesus from the moment I first attended the Great Banquet, which is a spiritual retreat. While I got to focus on getting to know Jesus at this retreat, I realized that at this retreat, I had my priorities completely out of whack. And like some men, I didn't have a lot of truly deep, meaningful relationships with other male friends. And I definitely didn't have anyone I felt like I could share my faith journey with, or I should say, lack of faith journey with. And I found that I would isolate myself, and I found myself spending more and more time self-soothing with alcohol. And I was all wrapped up in what I felt I needed and what I wanted for myself, and not so much of what God had planned for me. While attending the Great Banquet, I finally listened to what Jesus had planned for me. And I realized that I wasn't being the father and husband that I was meant to be in the eyes of God. So I started to build relationships with the men around me, and men that could help support and help me grow in my faith, and walk me and guide me on an intentional path towards a renewed faith in Jesus.
After my heart attack, I truly knew I was mortal. But what is good? The relationships with all the wonderful people of this church, the people of this community, of this country and the world. I had prayers coming not only from Knox, but from people in all periods of my life. I now try to work to maintain those relationships and to try to return what was shared with me. I strive to not do it just at church on Sunday, but at work, with my family, with my friends, and with those I bump into each day. And so I look for ways to change the lives of others by humbly sharing my story and trying to love others just as Jesus would.
I'm living proof that lives are changed by Jesus. My hope is that Knox continues to support all of the wonderful ministries within Knox as well as outside. And I've been a Sunday school teacher and a confirmation teacher, in which I never thought that I would have done, but God had other plans for me. So in confirmation, I had the opportunity to get to know 17 amazing young people. And through Knox's Go and Serve, I got to serve with dozens more. To get to see the youth of Knox being the hands and feet for God, doing service projects through communities that are less fortunate than ours is just an amazing thing. And last but not least, I would say the Great Banquet. So while the Great Banquet is not a retreat that is a Knox retreat, Knox does allow the use of its facilities, and it gives the adults the ability to strengthen, renew, or even create a relationship with Jesus. And I know I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my life being changed by Jesus.